Good morning. This is going to be a trip up Monte Cristo Direct. Here's us walking up towards Superior on the ridge. I didn't get any of the skinning because it was still dark and the camera wouldn't work. So we skinned up to Cardiff Pass, and now this is A-OK and I walking up the ridge towards Superior. We did crampons the whole time on the ridge here. It's pretty icy, or at least really hard snow, and as you can see there's a long way to slide if you do fall, so crampons was definitely the right call. Here I'm taking the lead. That big rock part was Little Superior, we had a ways to go, and here we are at the top. This is the top of Monte Cristo, so you go to Superior and then go a little past it. You see great weather, great views, and now we're going down with the new skis. The snow conditions are pretty miserable, but I was able to at least turn both ways here. There's a nice breakable, non-supportable crust. And then this part I think is probably not here in a more regular Utah snow year, but I had a little fun micro traverse through some high consequence rocks. A little bit of a fun surprise on this outing, but get through here no problem. And then here I am, we're at the top of the chute itself, and A-OK is like, yeah, you go ahead. Like, oh, what a nice guy. And then start skiing and realize how miserable it is. It's like a semi-supportable ice death fest, and I can't remember ever skiing something worse than this. The ice was enough to rattle your brain loose inside your head, and then half the time you broke through, and that was even worse. Staying on top was actually welcomed. Like right here, I stay on top of the ice, and you can actually make some semi-decent work of this chute, but breaking through was pretty rough. But anyway, the chute goes down for a while. Here's a little tiny choke coming up, but no big deal. And the whole time here we're above about 150 foot of cliff. So that's another consideration. You really don't want to fall and start sliding down here because there's a very steep elevation change coming up. And here we're at the top of the cliff. The first, actually, A-OK, in a recurring theme, sends me down first. Like, oh, why don't you go check it out? Like, oh, okay, yeah. So I go look. I'm like, hey, okay, well, over here is the rappel anchor there on the right. And, well, we can probably go down here on the left and get to the rappel anchor. Okay. So, you really don't want to drop your skis here. So, I learned how to take these new skis off without dropping them, at least this time. And then we down climbed around that rock and to our left, which I really thought was going to be easier than it was. I'm putting the skis in the backpack. I thought it was going to be easier than it was, and we probably should have used the rope, especially because I didn't have an axe like you see he has an axe there. I didn't bring mine on the trip, so I just had my whippet on the left hand there and my pole on the other hand. But made it down, no problem, and got to the rappel anchor, and then we had two rappels. There's about a 40-footer and then about a 100-footer, and we got onto the bottom run out. So we actually, the rappels were fine. The skiing at the bottom was actually pretty decent, and at the end of the day, I made it to the airport on time. So successful trip, and hopefully I'll get back and do some more skiing with A-OK soon. That's it.